is inflation. Inflation is eating your money nicely as you're making decisions not to do, as you're there, right? So the question we ask is, that silent thief that's taking your money, what are you doing about that, right? So let's start. And I think the question is to start. What is comfortable for you? Let's understand the basics, right? You don't say go here, go there. Let's start with the basics. Let's list your what do you call it, non-negotiables. I need a house, right? Property. So we have a specialist that help you with information. And remember, when you're working with institutions, there are laws and governance that we have to follow. Not only locally, but internationally. Being an international bank, we're governed by, I think, how many laws? Like crazy number, because we're in Africa, Middle East, and Asia, right? And our head office is in the UK. So can you imagine the amount of ISA that are on us? We can't just go on a fly and say, buy this, right? So the idea is, first of all, you should be comfortable. We've been doing wealth management for 20 years in Kenya. 20 years, right? There has to be something, right, for you to at least try. But I think beyond that, it's more about ease of doing investing or building your wealth. How easy is it? You know, how many hurdles do I need to do to open an account? It's on your phone. How do I start the process? Open an account. Start with 500 shillings, right? So if you want to build a foreign currency portfolio, start with $100. Depends where you want to go. But speak to somebody. So there is a team. There is a person. There's no machine to tell you, please click here, option 1, invest here. There's nothing like that. So I think for us is, we do have the naysayers, but the idea we always ask is, what are you doing otherwise? What is your other option? So that would be our, start of that conversation. I don't know, Rero.
Yeah, so I would give you an example of a client I started having conversation with around 2016, thereabout, and zero investment. The very first investment was a bond, and the government of Kenya has done well to reduce the minimum amount that somebody can invest. Then was 100,000 shillings. So just give it a try. Do your first 100,000 shillings, then got the first coupon. Then came back. Now let's sit down, let me do a plan. How can I be able to get to X amount later? Now, the beauty of having a team speak to you, and the beauty of having an institution that gives you a variety of options that fit into your goal came into play. Started with a bond, now started investing in dollars, putting $100 here and there for the children education, because she wants to take the kids for her education in the UK, and be able to see, how do I make sure that for their upkeep, I don't really have to get money now, but I can be able to build to that and build a diverse portfolio from there. And it speaks to what Kush was saying. What is really important is making that first step. That's the most important piece. And you don't have to go big. Just make the first step. See how it goes. You get comfortable. In anything that you do, you get comfortable. And with the team that are supporting you, then it helps develop that financial muscle to understand yourself, so that as you go, because even your needs change over time. The person you are now is not the person you were 10 years ago. What you need going forward 10 years is different from what you are looking for 10 years ago. And just go that way, then you'll be able to build it. And that's what we tell those who have that the pessimistic view, that give it the first try. You don't have to go big. It's very important to make that first step. Make the decision.
It's a good thing that you talk about, getting the personal advice. It's personalized, and you start by asking me, what's my today? What do I see my tomorrow looking like? So what's my forever going to look like? Okay, that's all good. So I pour out onto you, Kush, and I tell you, these are my dreams, my plans, and we start working on something. And you're growing. Like you're saying, Oma, you've been working with this person since 2016. You know what, We work to get paid. So tomorrow you decide to leave the bank, and you go, and I'm suddenly left exposed. We've developed a personal relationship. Now, am I going to move with you? I'm just thinking about my guy, my very good kinyozi called Nash. So Nash wherever he has moved, he just tells me, Eric, tomorrow we are going there. I'm like, sour. As long as it's within the place I can reach you, where you go, wherever you're going, I'm coming. Now, what happens when the relationship manager that you have actually, developed this kind of close bond and you're sharing with them your personal journey and dreams and aspirations, they move or they're promoted. They become head of investment for East and Southern and Middle East.
Now, that's a good question. One thing that we are proud of is the support structure for our relationship team. So while the relationship manager is the face that you have a conversation with, there's a team behind it. And that relationship is, you got an investment advisor, you got a treasury specialist, you got an insurance specialist, and you got a mortgage specialist, all supporting you as a client. Now, if they, let's say, as you say, your relationship manager moves, you are having that relationship with the RM, and technically you're having it with the bank. The bank has made it said that when you are the RM is not there, there's a clear support structure around it for you. So you will never say, "Oh, my RM has moved. Am I alone?" No. You are never alone. There, not only from the RM, there's the RM team leader, and you have got also a service manager. I believe Judith, that is your RM. There's a service manager that supports Judith. So you will build a relationship with the entire institution, so that even if, because people get to change jobs or people get to retire, but the relationship with the bank still exists. Remember when I started saying there are families that we have been working with, supporting them to grow, protect their wealth in 4 generations across the world, 150 years. And for in that whole period, several individuals in the bank have changed, but the philosophy still remained. How we support you as a client does not change by just that one individual having left. There's a good structure around you as a client that will be able to take care of you.
And is it seamless transition?
It is.
Because there's also the fear that, okay, so then everybody knows your business. If you have, if you've had one and then he or she goes, then, then you have to now start downloading this to somebody else, and okay, this is where we started from, and I was in a bit of a mess, and then this other person gets to know, So I mean, how do you deal with that transition?
No, it's very seamless, because that particular information, you did put it in some kind of investment idea for yourself. Now that is available. So there is the personal touch. We can't take that away. I've developed the relationship with you. We have coffee and all that.
Right.
That would go. That might take a bit of time to now develop with Kush, but the ideas that you have, the goals that you have, the dreams that you have, that hasn't gone away with the individual. That is still there, and it forms the basis of the conversation. And as I said, there's a support structure around it that makes that transition really seamless and easy for you as a client.
There is a category of individuals who are referred to as salaried.
Yes.
Now, everything that you've mentioned revolves around money. Now, they tend to have it consistently, hopefully, of course. And I'm sure you have categories of accounts that you have. We are in a time when more and more people are given contracts, and when an economy has a downturn, there is always the subject of retrenchment. Walk us through the accounts that you have and how it is people who are salaried are protected or not, as the case may be.
Yeah, so from account perspective, overall, if you look at the banking, you got your everyday banking account, your savings, your current, and that. But what is really important, and you brought a good point in this day and age, because businesses are evolving and redundancy do happen, is how do you protect yourself during that period that you will be out of work? And then this is where the insurance piece comes in. So the products, we got products that can be able to give you that retrenchment cover 6, 9, or 12 months, so that when you are in between jobs where you are looking, then you can be able to take care of yourself. So it's not necessarily only the account perspective, but the products around it that supports you in that period. So that if you are out of work and let's say you have a current account, you have a loan facility, you have got a mortgage, how can you be able to still pay for your mortgage for, let's say, 6 months when you're in between jobs? So we got insurance products that cover you from a retrenchment cover perspective to take care of that when you are in between jobs.
That is for everyone who has an account with you?
Yes, who have account and you got an additional product, yes.
I think, CT, let's take another perspective. Okay? So you have the covers, you have the insurance, fine. But, like I said, life happens. Business cycles move, right? Salary can stop, but your life needs to continue. What does that life look like, right? So first thing we do is, today we ask the question, your rental income goes, your business has dire scenarios. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but dire scenarios.
Yeah.
What do you want to have clocking into your account if everything stops? And how do we plan for that? For example, you know your obligations are school fees, right? What is that amount? X. Because we have done this for clients. In fact, with the government bonds or the international currencies, we call it passive income or multiple sources. Don't rely on one source of income. That's where we come in. That there's longevity to your income cash flow. So as an account, you have your basic account, you open an account. But what's the plan for that? And I think to answer your question is, those who are going through that cycle, we want to give you multiple sources to continue your life goals, even when things stop.
So what are some of those options? What are the opportunities that are on the table when we talk about something? Because I just thought about that. Okay, so what if everything then does come to an end for whatever, or there's a break in transmission, as it were? So then what are the opportunities that are available? I'm putting 500 shillings, I'm putting 10,000, I'm putting 1,000. To do what, and how does that grow?
Right. So firstly, like we said, the basic is the money market fund, right? Which is your emergency fund where you can get a compounding interest. You go one above it, you have the local government bond to build your Kenyan shilling cash flows. So we always say your obligations in Kenya are in Kenyan shillings. Yeah? What does that look like? What are those obligations? So you build your bond portfolio, and I know Aurora will talk about it more, in different payment terms. They pay twice a year, Feb and August. If you want every 3 months, then you build your bonds to have different payouts. Now, in 10 years' time, the kids will go to uni, wherever in the world, right? Or maybe do masters. Maybe you want to do masters, right? You have to pay in foreign currency. So how do you build your international funds? For example, I get exposure to build that cash flow for you, where you can get a dividend in your account every month, right? And I call it holiday money because we all want to travel, and the demographics coming in are nomads, working nomads, right? So the idea is, how do we help you with that? So you get access to international markets, and we have open architecture, meaning it is not a Standard Chartered product only. You have over 260 international funds at your disposal on your account here. It's also on our website. We have, access to anybody who wants to have a look at it, and you can build your portfolio to generate, say, I want $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 clocking in from my portfolio in the next 5 years. So we work backwards. So from your salary, that money, that tomorrow forever, you're building it now. And that's how we build in. Also international bonds. So maybe Aurora can talk more about that. Yeah.
So just to get back, one of the things that we've seen, and that's people also, not only from retrenchment, but as some people, you transition into getting into retirement. And most people will typically do, you retire and then you get yourself starting a business. I was seeing the Retirement Benefits Authority did a survey, and most of Kenyans, when you retire, your income goes down by around 52%. And then you got gaps. One of the things that we've done, and the conversation we're having, is how do you build a portfolio, let's say in local government bonds, that will mirror an income? You'll buy, either you want it monthly, then you buy a series of 6 bonds that pay you coupons in different months. And that will be able to mirror. Some do it 3 bonds, so that every other month you got income stream coming through. Then somebody say, I want in the next 10 or 15 years to do ABCD, so I want that to come in foreign currency. Now, what we've done is have some of the corporates, your Tesla, your Amazon, we got their bonds in our platform. I know technology is growing. It is the next big thing. I want to participate in that growth, either through the funds that we offer or participating in their debt. We give you that opportunity. Or you want to invest, let's say, in US government bonds, we give you that. But one of the things that is really even changing in this market is that a number of our clients are starting to say, I want to get a return, but I want environmental, social governance around it. I want to invest in companies that aligns to my goals. So we have got some of those bonds that in our portfolio that you can be able to invest in. You are clear you want a bond that, this company that deals with water sanitation across the globe. Then we give you that opportunity. So once you get a return, but you also participating in something that you all true and dear to yourself. So those options are available to our clients. Yeah.
And you're saying all this information is on the website?
Yeah, it's on our website.
sc.com.
sc.com, KE. If you go on the tabs, you have the normal accounts, you have insurance, you have invest. Under invest, we have interactive fund libraries. All the international investments are there. We have the today, tomorrow framework broken down. What does it mean if you want to do some homework? I always call it homework to clients because sometimes you have to do the homework to start something.
Yeah.
And also market insights. You want to know who's coming on Trump's cabinet. We have the information. Why does it matter? Sometimes it matters because it does impact us globally.
Yeah. So all that you can find on the website, and also you can email them prioritybanking.ke@sc.com. 8:01. We've been having a conversation with Kushbu Dutier, who is the head of investment advisory for Kenya and Uganda, and O Morero, head of wealth products, Kenya and East Africa at Standard Chartered Bank.
Sugar and spice and everything